Welcome to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, bringing baby boomers proven strategies and innovative products for getting fit, staying fit, so you can live a longer, healthier, and happier life. Here's your host, best-selling author and fitness advocate, Phil Ferris.
This is Phil Ferris, and welcome to our show. Never Too Late for Fitness Radio provides answers and straight talk about fitness, nutrition, and healthy lifestyles for people over 50. Our goal is to educate and advocate health and fitness strategies that help you to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. Our guest today is Robert Protass. He is Vice President of Lifeline Screening. Robert earned an MBA in marketing from UC Berkley and spent many years in New York City in the financial services sector. Deep down, Robert had a desire to work for an organization that helps people better their lives, and he left the financial services world for Lifeline Screenings. Almost every day, he receives amazing testimonials about people's lives changing for the better due to their screenings at Lifeline. And this reinforced his desire to leave the financial world. So, Robert, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today.
I'm glad to be here, Phil.
Well, to begin with, can you tell us a little bit about Lifeline Screening and how you became involved with the organization?
Sure. So Lifeline Screening has, we've been screening for over 20 years. We've screened over 9 million people over that time. We generally screen people for stroke and cardiovascular disease risk, as well as other chronic illnesses. I personally have been in marketing for over 20 years in financial services. Over the last 4 years, I've been doing marketing for Lifeline Screening. And the reason why I made that switch is I want to make a difference in people's lives. We look at a stat that for 4 out of 5 people who have a stroke, their very first symptom is the stroke. The good news out of that is that 80% of strokes and cardiovascular disease is actually preventable. And I get to communicate that message to the masses and help people identify potential risks to their health so that they can do something about it. So it's, for me personally, it's very gratifying.
So you work in a job where you actually save lives and improve health. So, Robert, can you describe the types of people for which Lifeline Screening was designed and what they get when they get their screenings? Sure.
So the right type of person to get screened by Lifeline Screening is generally someone that's asymptomatic, that doesn't have symptoms of a stroke or cardiovascular disease. And those risk factors are essentially people that are age 50 or above, or they might have high cholesterol or high blood pressure or diabetes, or maybe they were a smoker. Maybe there's weight issues, a family history of stroke or cardiovascular disease as additional risk factors. As you age, people become more vulnerable to stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. For instance, plaque does develop in your arteries and does make you more vulnerable to a stroke, so that being proactive can either provide you with peace of mind or early detection so you can do something about it. We have 5 screenings that we provide. They're simple, they're painless, they're non-invasive, and we provide a screening package for $149 that includes these screenings. We look at your carotid artery. We'll take an ultrasound device and put it against your neck and measure the level of plaque. And the more plaque that you have, the more vulnerable you are to a stroke. We'll examine your abdominal aorta and look for an aneurysm and a ballooning of this large artery in your belly that can rupture if it gets too big. We'll look for peripheral arterial disease and evaluate the pressures in your arms and your ankles and calculate what's called an ankle brachial index that examines the flow in your arteries and assesses the risk of cardiovascular disease. We do an atrial fibrillation test to look for a regular heartbeat, which can lead to a stroke. And we'll also do a bone density test on your shin bone and look for osteoporosis as part of the screening package. We've got 13,000 locations that we're at every year. We set up shop in churches and synagogues and community centers, medical facilities, and hotel conference rooms. And we'll screen anywhere from 500,000 to 700,000 people a year.
Wow. Now, once I get my results, what typically do I do with them? And how do I interpret them?
So if we find something that is very serious, we will let you know right away at the screening so that you can take emergency action and do something about it. We will provide you with a results package in 2 to 3 weeks that gives you detailed information that you can take to your doctor and create a plan. And if you do have abnormal results where there is moderate or severe blockages, you would set a plan with your physician. It could be as minimal as just monitoring, could be a dietary change, exercise, or surgery, depending on the severity.
Okay. So why is it important, Robert, why is it important for people over 50 to be proactive and to get screened?
Yeah. So we identify enough people every year to fill a football stadium with chronic illnesses. And as mentioned before, if as you age, you become more vulnerable to these chronic illnesses. And it's important to just get screened, have the knowledge so that you can do something about it. You're either going to get peace of mind or early detection. And if you have early detection, it gives you that time to do something about it.
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit in that a number of years ago, I'd never heard of AFib. And I went into my doctor and I just said, for the last 5 days, my heart rate has been about 90. And the nurse said, well, that's in the normal range. I said, not for me. My normal range is, 54. And it's been that way for years. And so I said, I just, just been monitoring it and just, it's not normal for me. So I said, well, let's do an EKG. And they went, and all of a sudden came back and said, wow, you have AFib. And I said, what's AFib? They said, well, you got to get to the hospital because it has a huge risk factor. And so then I started to realize, okay, I probably had episodes before, but just thought it was dehydrated, thought it was something else. And then it was able to get on a course of action to eliminate the possibility of stroke. And on the other side, once I got AFib, I found out my neighbor had it, and there was 2 or 3 other friends had it. Now we experienced it differently, but we all had it. And I also had a friend, a very good friend, that had AFib and didn't know, had a stroke, and never fully recovered from the stroke. And so I looked at that as saying, wow, that early detection was valuable to me. And it would have, if my friend had a screening, could have saved his life. So early detection is something that is important because then you can take action about it.
So we hear so many similar stories that you just described all the time, that people have found blockages, they were able to take action and do something about it. And people get their teeth checked regularly. They go to the dentist and it's a very simple procedure. You go in and you get your teeth cleaned and get checked just for cavities. But the importance of knowing whether you're vulnerable to a stroke, which can be so life-changing, so detrimental to you, to the individuals that you love and are part of your family. And it's such a simple thing to just go get checked, go get screened. It's simple, it's non-invasive, it's painless, and doesn't take very long at all. So it is something that everyone that is age 50 and above should be doing.
So with all that, that stuff that we all know we should do, but a lot of people still don't. What are some of the most common misconceptions or concerns people may have that would prevent them from getting a regular screening?
It's some people may find them expensive. Typically, doctors do not order these tests because insurance won't cover it. And if you were to go to a hospital to get these screenings, it could be thousands of dollars. And the way that we do them in a community setting, we're able to provide them to the overall public for just $149. So it really isn't that expensive for something that is so important. Some people don't want to get it done because they find the screening scary of what they might find. And that to me is concerning because it's important for you to know. I view the screening as a win-win. Whatever the outcome is, you're going to walk away with a great outcome. You're either going to walk away with peace of mind that you're okay, or early detection of something that you didn't know so that you can go and do something about it. And you can change a behavior, or you can go to your doctor and come up with a game plan.
Yeah, the thing that strikes me, and I'm a very, very strong advocate of being proactive and being your own advocate for your health and your wellness. That if you have a doctor that doesn't talk to you about lifestyle and diet and other kinds of things, find another doctor because it is your life. And once you get past 50, there are a lot of things that can come back and have consequences as we age. So again, this is something that I advocate for all my people, all my listeners, is to be proactive, get information. Whenever I go in for a test for anything, there is that sense of relief that said, oh, okay. And it is a relief, whether it be skin for dermatology or for heart rate or for any of the things you get. It does say, okay, that's working. And then when I get something that's not quite the way it's supposed to be, it says, okay, you need to course correct. You need to make some change. And the big thing about many of the things that you're talking about, lifestyle changes has a big impact on what you can do to mitigate what those issues are. So it's not like, especially the earlier you find it out, the more you can change it with lifestyle kinds of things. And so that's... And
it's important not just for you, but for your family, because we hear it all the time too, that the people don't want to be a burden to your own family. While a stroke can be devastating to you, but it also is devastating to your family and your loved ones that now have that burden to need to take care of you in that situation as well.
Okay. Now that's, again, the friend that I mentioned, it happened 2 months before his daughter got married and he wasn't able to go to his own daughter's wedding. Mm. And so I'm at the wedding, I'm with his wife, I'm with his daughter, and he wasn't there. And it was a very heavy presence in a very joyous occasion, but that absence was felt by all. It was hard to, that was the elephant in the room. And so that's really struck me as to how lucky I was just to find out early. So if someone wants to get screened, how do they go about it? Where, how would I know where the screenings are taking place and how would I sign up?
Yeah, so we have a link that we've provided to you that your listeners can click on, and I believe that's through your notes.
Right.
And what that's going to do is take you to a location finder where you'll be able to enter your zip code and see an abundance of locations where we will be that you can easily sign up for a screening.
I got to ask this because of one of the concerns that people have, that anything medical, in fact, anything going out is COVID. So what precautions are you taking to help safeguard the people who come in for screenings at the locations?
Yeah, we take it very seriously. We are adhering to all CDC and state guidelines. We're taking precautions to minimize risks. All employees and customers are required to wear masks in the facilities. We have vigorous cleaning procedures that we do throughout the screening, before, during, and after. We take temperatures of the individuals before they actually enter the area. And we also ask them a questionnaire to find out about their symptoms. Additionally, we've reduced the number of appointments that we're taking so that we can ensure social distancing and not have too many people in the area.
So there's a lot of things you do to control to make sure that people are, the social distancing's there, that the cleaning procedures are there, that the staff is taken care of, and that the people that are symptomatic, are not going to be coming in and risking infecting other people. So that's, again, you don't want to assume those things, but I'm sure that people feel very comfortable going there. Robert, I want to thank you so much for being on the show and sharing. This is a very important thing that's not always top of mind because I don't have symptoms. But I have to be aware that I need to be proactive about my health because I'm anybody over 50 needs to be proactive. And the more information you have, the better you are and able to chart a course future to stay healthy and to alleviate any problems that may be associated with the heart disease or the osteoporosis. So thank you very much for sharing your information, and people can sign up and find out more information on the link in the show notes.
Great. Well, thank you, Phil, for having us. We really appreciate it.
You've been listening to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, hosted by Phil Ferris. To learn more about the guests or resources on our show today, or to listen to past episodes, go to nevertoolateforfitness.com.